Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again today. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by to see this video, and trust me, you're going to get a lot of value from today's topic. From the topic, you could already see what we are talking about, and we'll jump straight into the video. So I would start by reading a particular passage, a particular verse of the Bible, and that will be like an anchor to what I want to say. So I'll read Proverbs 21:23. It says, "He who guards his mouth and his tongue keep himself from calamity." Another translation says, "He who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from trouble." Yes, so today I'm going to be talking about words and timing. Words and timing. The truth is that there are some times, or there are a lot of times, God will give you a word, especially if you're walking with God and you're able to hear God. There are times God will give you a word, a promise, something to run with. Then the timing aspect is he may give you something that may happen, let's say 5 years from now. So it's left for you to actually hold that word and run with it. It's not all the word that you receive from God that you go about telling people immediately. So when you get a word from God, you should be able to discern whether you're supposed to say that word now or whether you're supposed to keep it in your heart. Remember, in the case of Mary, all the things that were happening, all the things that he was observing about Jesus, the Bible recorded that she kept it in her heart. So it's not everything that you receive that you say. So, and that is very important. That is one important of journaling. Yes, that is one important of journaling. I made a video some time ago about journaling and the importance. So what you basically do when God gives you a word, firstly, you write it in your journal. Then pray over the word, breathe over the word, pray over it. Then ask for further instructions from God. Because there are words that you receive from God, but there are things you may also need to do for that word or promise to come to pass. So if God gave you a word about something and you just held that word and you're not doing anything with it, you're not even meeting the requirements that will make that word to come to pass, trust me, that 5 years time will come and that word will not happen. Why? Because you did not prepare yourself, you did not align yourself, you did not do the necessary things that you were supposed to do to bring that promise or that word to pass. So when God gives you a word, you don't go about telling people, God told me I'm going to build house, or I'm going to do this, or going to do that. You guys understand now? You don't go about proclaiming that word to people, except maybe God gave you a message for somebody. That one is a different ball game. But when God gives you a word for your life, it's not something you go around telling everybody that cares to listen. Because trust me, even if that word is true, but you don't make the necessary sacrifices, you don't make necessary preparations to make that word to happen, that time lapse that God gave you will come and pass, and that word will not happen. And what will happen? All people that you've told that God said, they'll be looking at you and they'll be like, this person said that God said this, but this time I've reached and it did not happen. So what happened? The thing is, you just took that word, just like that man that received 1 talent and buried it on the ground. He did not trade it, he did not do anything with it. So when you receive a word from God, it's good you treasure that word in your heart, pray over it, breathe over it, prepare yourself for that promises that God has made for you. Align yourself to make that promise to come to pass, or to make that word give you to come to pass. The Bible says that uh, he who guards his mouth keeps his tongue, and his tongue keeps himself from calamity, from trouble. You see, sometimes the words you say have a way of holding you down, like putting you in trouble. So most times we are word bound. So it's actually very important that you watch the things you say, watch the people you say it to, because trust me, words don't die. Words, you may even forget that you said a certain thing at a certain time, but people would come and remind you that you said so and so thing. In fact, you yourself will be asking yourself, oh, I forgot, and all. So that is why the Bible is telling us that we should guard our mouth, we should guard our tongue, ha, so that you will not fall into trouble, oh, so that you will not fall into trouble. I believe that this I believe that this video is going to help you. Sometimes you may be so excited about what God is showing you that you want to share it with somebody. Okay, that is why it's also important to have an accountability partner. Not telling everyone that cares to listen to you that God said this and God said that and God said that. If you have an accountability partner, you could tell the person, I received this from God, can you help me so that we can pray more about it? I need to get further instructions on what to do, than going about and spreading it. Finally, results don't lie. So because you've written that word down, personally what I do is, maybe when God gives me a word, I write it in my journal with the date I received that word from God. I write it, like I make sure I write the date and the year, because God may give me a word today and maybe the time the word is going to come to pass maybe next year. So I write it and the date. So, and I'm very careful about the things I write and how I put it down. So what I do is I pray over it. I try to get more instructions, or maybe what God will have me do concerning a particular word I've gotten. And over the time, when I do my journal reviews, I will review it to see whether that thing God is saying, whether any of them have happened. You understand? So when any of them happens, I'm also careful to document it again in my journal with the date, saying so and so thing happened. God told me, I will refer to the date God told me, and I'll also write how it happened and how that word came to pass. Trust me, um words don't die, words don't die. And the things that you've written is actually a reference point for you. If you really want to express yourself properly, you maybe want to talk about it, please kindly write it down. Number one is, you will be able to refer to it in the future when the results come, when the result of that thing come, and maybe you're testifying about it, and maybe people may want to doubt and say, where is the proof and all that, and maybe you want to now prove a point. You can actually maybe take a snapshot of your journal, the date God said it, and show them. Trust me, like, it's way better and way safer than saying things and not working on them, and eventually the words you say landed you in trouble. So I'm putting this out there to caution us, to warn us, to remind us, to remind us, yes, let's be careful of our words. Sometimes we are so careless that the things that come out from our mouth, before we even know it, we've already finished saying it. That's when our mind will now come back. That's why James chapter 3 verse 5 was say that the tongue is a small part of the body, but who can control it, who can tame it? Let's read that place. James 3. Here's James again. Yeah. James 3 verse 5. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great fire is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person and sets the whole of his life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. Hmm. So it's actually very important that we control our mouth, we control our tongue, we control the things we say, and we should also be careful the people we say it to. Yes, we should also be careful the people we say it to. Trust me, there are people everywhere waiting to snare you or to hold you by that word that you said. And I think this video is going to go a long way to help someone to be careful. Really, as I'm talking to us, I'm also talking to myself. To be careful with our words. If God gives you a word, sit on it. Don't be too fast to proclaim it. Don't be too fast to tell it to anybody that cares to listen. Trust me, evidence don't lie. Evidence don't lie. When the results finally show, hmm, you would tell people, I received this from God and now it is happening. So basically, it's okay to relax and see what God told you come into play. Not just relax, but doing your own part and the instructions that you receive from God that will facilitate that word to come to pass. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sticking with me up until now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. 2, like, okay, 1, give this video a thumbs up. 2, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Click on the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified when we post a new video. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much. Share this video with your friends and loved ones and anybody that you feel the person needs to hear this message. Share to them, okay? And thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.